names.
Hi, my name is
And
John,
cheat.
and
So
I'm
then
not the
Sony
blogger of this
brought him to
channel.
court.
Yours just like, oh my god. My mom's here.
Are those the types you're wearing today?
Yes.
Oh.
That's what that phone call was.
What phone call?
He got a phone call in the middle of the
Because little 13-year-old kids put too much perfume because they think they're cool, but they're not.
Then you won't even look near him. He'll just
13-year-olds don't wear really smelly perfume. And they were trying to.
Yeah, with all like deodorant and stuff, they either stink too much or they have too much perfume on.
Yeah, and it's really gross. And it's that obnoxious manly perfume that's just like, okay, if you put a little bit, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just nice and simple. The guy was.
It
He has a
was.
self-esteem problem.
John, did you wear too much cologne when you were in high school?
No.
Do you wear cologne now?
This guy was older though.
When I worked at Uniprix, there were perfumes in the cosmetics department, and that was always just awful because people would go and test it. And it would just be trying on perfumes, and then it would smell like different perfumes, and it was annoying. Also, when I was in high school, in grade 8, I had my locker. Someone just walked by and like did a double take at the camera. I had my locker beside these two guys that would always just like spray Axe like they do in the commercials, which you shouldn't do because an entire X amount of Axe
It's disgusting.
is way too much. I don't care how cool you feel. It's not okay.
Okay, men, when they put perfume, they go psh, 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 psh. I want somebody to explain that to me.
And also, so the guys that always sprayed too much perfume, they were really mean to another guy that had his locker near mine. So then one day I went home and I asked my mom if she had any like really, really bad smelling perfume that maybe someone had given her. And what it was, she gave me like this, you know those granny smelling perfumes? That it's like this potent, gross stench, and when old ladies walk by, it's like a mash between mothballs, flowers, and like puke and dust. And anyways, so I got that, and it was a spray thing, right? And one day after school, he sprayed it, and then also was being an ass and was spraying the other guy with it. So now the entire hallway stinks of Axe like you couldn't understand. I took the old lady perfume, I had my bag and everything, and like my locker closed, go behind him, standing stealthily, sprayed it as many times. His shirt starts wet, like now it's wet with this old lady perfume in like this circle. He starts sniffing it, and as I'm walking away as stealthily as I can manage, I hear, "What the f? My shirt is wet! What's that smell?" Anyways, he never stopped, but I was just like, I feel so much better.
Yeah. Something like that, that makes me think of Twilight.
I always thought that clothing smelled like clothing, hair smelled like hair. Guys, I can normally pick out which scent they use unless they're actually really creative. It might be because I was working at a pharmacy and we sold High Endurance and Old Spice and all those wonderfully scented things. But when it comes down to it, does that actually make a difference to me? No, not really, because I could just go out and buy the damn scent. I'm not going to sit at home sniffing that. I guess it's just the actual shirt that you get a rise out of. But I guess I have problems with body odor as much as I have problems with people who put on too much perfume. I'm not asking for a scentless world, but I guess I'm just asking for a bit of neutrality. Scent shouldn't be that big of a deal. It should just be sort of passive. Then again, maybe that's just me. But I mean, don't you hate the stench of smokers? And coffee breath? BO, I can sometimes forgive because let's face it, when the Mini Labs heater was still on, I know that I was starting to overheat, and one can only prevent so much. Interesting fun fact is one day I had to run to the train. I got there just as the train was getting there. Normally I get a lift, and I didn't know I wasn't getting a lift that day. I had been running in a leather jacket, which of course you can just imagine how that smelled. I hadn't had time to brush my teeth. It's just funny because my friend Nick couldn't smell a thing while I was sitting there ashamed of how I stank. Interesting other fun fact about smell, I don't really get why girls tend to smell guys' clothing. Maybe it's just me, but I don't personally feel the need to take a whiff. Don't get me wrong, it's nice if they don't stink, but does that really merit, like, purposeful smelling? I mean, really now, who are you fooling? Why would you bother even doing that?